because health situation in Gambia was all the time a concern, and everybody knows that. So to stop that, I mean, that's my idea anyway. Try and make sure that they concentrate in certain investigations about the health of the people. You know, health is everything. If you don't have it, you are nothing. If you don't have it, you cannot even enjoy your best villa. And it's very sad that such things are still happening in Gambia. Even in Banjul area is okay. In the area, I think some people, they don't even have a transport to go to the hospital, the nearby hospital. And such things, I think it should be better, Mr. Sawaneh. That's my concern anyway.
All right, thank you so much, Alice. We're moving on to Mr. Ibrahim Drammeh. Mr. Ibrahim Drammeh, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of knowledge about this. You've worked in the Gambia, and you have worked in the government sector, I believe. So what is your take about these ladies, being passing away because they're having problems with deliveries, and like we are losing a lot of life. Not only the babies, but the parents are passing. The women are not having support, and this is really creating a lot of problems in the country right nowadays. People are even scared to even conceive.
I think he has his microphone stopped.
Yeah, Mr. Drammeh, can you hear us?
Oh, it's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me again to this platform, New Gambia platform. This is my second time. I'm glad to be with you today and then the rest of the panelists. Actually, it's Nfamara Drammeh or Ibrahima. Still the same.
How can I mistake in that? I mean, like, I guess
I have a brother that is Ibrahim, so that's not a big deal. So, this is a very important topic to discuss because, like since health is wealth, a nation with healthy citizens is a nation that is definitely going to prosper because healthy citizens bring in, contribute a lot to the economy of the country and also help in running the government. So if you have a healthy nation, you are certainly going to have a healthy country.
Okay, I think we have Chess online. Chess, welcome. Kexx also joined.
It looks like my cell phone internet is fluctuating right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. While we can introduce Kexx afterwards. Go ahead.
Like I was saying, it's very important to have citizens who are very healthy. And the situation in Gambia and unfortunately, like many parts of
but his line is disturbing.
Yeah. Nfamara.
Our mothers. Yes.
Your line for some reason. Where are you at?
At working place.
I'm just riding my car right now.
Oh, okay. In the car.
Oh, maybe that's why,
So you can connect Kexx.
And we are also hearing music. We are also hearing music at the background. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
Where is the music coming from?
Yeah, tell them to reduce it somehow.
No, it's from my end. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kexx is trying to give us some music. Okay, go ahead. Okay, Nfamara, go ahead. Quickly.
I think Nfamara is gone.
Okay.
So
something. Yeah, he's driving probably. So we can move on to Habib. Habib, Kexx, welcome. We're talking about the delivery of women. When women are losing their life in the hospital right now, and the number is growing, and we are having issue with that. This is a national issue. We need to find a solution for it, and we also need to see what the government need to do, and us the citizen.
All right, that's a very good topic. It's something that we all know that what we are facing when it comes to that sector. The sector is definitely failing, and the earlier the better we look at what is the problem and the better for the country. But actually, I will just let Habibou to continue, then I will come in.
Okay, okay, guys, if we can share this to our page, it would be good if you have the ability, so we can have more viewing on it. Because this is very important. Some ladies just text me saying that this topic is very important. All right, so Nfamara, are you on board?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you can go ahead, and Abib can come and Kexx can come quickly.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanneh. This is very important to discuss because it is unacceptable for somebody to die, bringing life onto earth. So, I mean, I know it is a very touching, not only in Gambia, in most other developing countries, the situation is happening. But we can do much about it, especially in the case of Gambia. Of course, we don't have a lot of resources, but we have to prioritize the health sector in whatever we do as the government. So, I mean, the reason why we are not entirely sure main causes of the women losing their life while on delivery beds, but what we can sense is the fact that there is our national blood bank is at a very critical level, and then women need what we have seen in the social media recently. People in the hospital. I mean, they need blood and they cannot have blood, so they have to go around, looking for people, to save life. So I think those kind of situations should not be happening at all in our hospitals. I think we need a national campaign, to bring all the citizens on board. Let everybody give blood. Blood bank is something that we cannot allow it to run low. The Ministry of Health makes sure.
I think he's not having a very good connection.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Shouldn't be, we need to make sure that our national blood bank is at a very high level. Whenever it's going down, we need to make sure it is replenished so that we don't run out of blood in any of the health centers or the hospital. So that's a very big priority, And then also, some of the facilities in our hospitals are not very standard. We need to make sure we have the trained personnel. I know we have a school of nursing there. I don't know how often they train people, and then people at the hospitals are getting trained. But we need to make sure we have trained personnel in our hospitals to take care of.
But what he's saying is also very important. Is that Kexx? I think.
Sorry, guys, I keep going on and off. So, like I was saying, the hospitals should not run out of blood, and we need to have the right equipment in our hospital to check these women, so that they have a good maternity health. And this can be done, because government, of course, we know have a lot of priorities, but we can increase our health budget, and then see the areas where we can get the funding from, or cut down some of the expenditures that we are making, whether it has to come from, other sectors of our, government institutions. But the health needs to be prioritized, because if we don't have a good health, then definitely our children or the kids that we are bringing into life, will have good health. Our mothers and our pregnant women will not have good health. Actually, I am actually in my community here. I volunteer in the emergency and medical services. We call them the EMS. I volunteer. I've not even started running, riding with the ambulance yet. But you go various stages of training. You.
I think he's having a very good connection.
We see that sometimes our ambulances are transporting pregnant women from one health center to another, and those ambulance drivers are not even trained to even respond to basic life support, needs. So I think that is something that we also need to prioritize. An ambulance should not just be transporting people, but we need to make sure ambulances that is carrying patients from one health center to a major referral hospital, they should accompany with people who are well trained and they know how to respond to emergency situation during that transportation time. So I think that's also very key. But I think it is unacceptable to have women trying to deliver and there is no blood in a hospital. That one, there is no excuse for that. And I think we can do that. And the only way we can do that is our national health department or the Minister of Health, to encourage citizens to come forward and donate blood and make sure our national blood bank is replenished, make sure they are there. And then, we can also provide beds and equipments for our hospital. That can be done. We can increase the health budget of the Ministry of Health. And that can be done by, cutting from other ministries that are having too much, like, our defense ministry, for example. I'm not saying that defense is not important or interior is not important, but our health is more important, than interior or defense or even the state house. Like we've seen recently, the president's, food budget in a month is gone up to like 2 million in a month. So if you multiply that in 12 months, that's 24 million. So I think a president can do away with 1 meal or 2 meal, cut down the expenditure, make sure that we have at least, more blood banks at the hospital, or we provide, enough training for, our people that needs to be taking care of our sick mothers and our wives who get sick, trying to bring. So, I mean, I'm just giving an example here that we have money. I know we're a nation we are a poor nation, but I think the meager resources that we have, we can manage and then improve our standard at the health center. So that's my take for it right now. I think we can do much more better than the current situation.
Very good, very good. Wonderful. You have given a lot of insights, especially in terms of increasing the budget and cutting on other side, and also the blood. So we have to understand that, most of these people also are dying because there's not enough blood, and we have a lot of blood donation and blood screening probably is not, something that, the Gambian medical system is sophisticated doing. Otherwise, we have a lot of population out there that can give blood. Here, it is an incentive. If you in America here, if you give blood, some jobs, they will give you maybe a sick day. I mean, like an extra day off, or kind of give you some incentive. And people are willing to donate blood. But in the Gambia, there's this concept that if I give blood, my blood is gonna be low. Oh, ninga na yellow bedo alale, bina falale. Iko kali yellow do atale. Ama yellow so wala tina buka mdosona ka yellow di. So new concept sifa wala mo na problem. By the way, we can talk in any languages we feel like, just to help our audience understand.
Should I explain now in Wolof what I understood?
No, Alice, hold on. Let's go around. Let's finish first, and then you can summarize it in Wolof.
Okay.
So I just want to add that. I just want to add that to Mr. Nfamara's point.
Okay.
So we can move to Habib, and then Chess will come after that.
Okay.
Habib, do you have what is your take on that?
Yeah, good afternoon to you all. It's like, I first need to change the question due to noise. What I'm saying is like, here, normally the hospitals, they are not to standard. That's very true. But the feeding too, like when your wife is pregnant or your girlfriend is pregnant, there are things that you need to adjust. The way you are feeding her before, and when she's pregnant, the way you are feeding her, you need to adjust. Normally, you have it, no blood is due to the diet. Because here, the Northeast, all they learn is like, theory from the SRN, then the practicals, they come directly to the, to the clinic. And we know, like, the standard of theory here as well, how it is. It's just like, read, cram, and then pass the exams, that's it. But the experience that they are gaining, they are gaining on the field. So the practical is directly on the field. So we can blame the government for that, because they need standardize the hospitals. But I mean, I would say they didn't care because, like, I mean, most of their families or for themselves, like when they are sick or when their wife are to deliver, they have to, I mean, leave the country and go to abroad. I mean, so they won't care much. But there is a way that, I mean, we can see, I mean, until we can standardize hospitals, like, I mean, if at all you are working government officials, like, I mean, a minister or the president or so, all those kind of people, they shouldn't be given access. Or their, I mean, close family shouldn't be given access to go, I mean, to foreign to deliver. I believe so. Then obviously, I mean, they will look to the standards of the, I mean, hospital, because it seems like they don't care about the masses, unless when it comes to, like, I mean, right? I mean, if your wife is pregnant or your girlfriend is pregnant, there's something that you need to do. Give her, like, I mean, more protein, more carbohydrate, more raw fish. Then obviously, I mean, when she, I mean, goes, I mean, to labor, she won't suffer that much. I think it's something that we need to consider as well. Though we need, I mean, to raise the standards of the hospitals, but yet still the way we treat our wives or our girlfriends at home, we need to raise that standard too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. That's a good point. Definitely very good, Habib. What Habib, is just saying right now is our citizen has a responsibility also. We should also make sure we have nutrition our pregnant people, because without enough nutrition, the child is not gonna be well, fed and healthy, which is very important. It's true here when people are pregnant in the West here, they have certain tests they do occasionally to see what kind of advices they give them, the things that they eat, and also the things that they need to avoid. Very important point. And also he mentioned very important point. Some of our dignitaries, they rather have their wives go and deliver out abroad. So having that privilege will prevent them from focusing on the health situation here. So those 2 points that Habib mentioned are also need to be looked at. So we want our dignitaries to have their kids or their wives, deliver in this country, so that they can also face the challenge and know this what they need to do to improve the system. So that way they will know. So we're moving to Kexx now quickly. Kexx, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello,
Yeah.
Kexx.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you very much. This is a very important topic, as I mentioned earlier. And we have to look at this in 3 or 4 contexts. It has to deal with the government failure, to provide the necessary equipment for our hospitals. And you look at you could look at even the hospital itself, the institution itself, the customer care in the hospital itself is very poor when it comes to the doctor's behavior towards sick patients also has to be looked at. Habibou mentioned that our homes too is very important. We know how to treat these people who are pregnant from the starting day, like when they are 1 month pregnant, how the things has to change, the diets and so many things. And the third one will be the government itself. We have to trust in our medical system. If those who are in charge of our authorities they don't even have trust in our hospital, definitely they will not care, as Habibou said. But for me, my problem is about the customer care in even the hospital, because somebody who is pregnant or he's almost a verge of delivering, she needs love, she needs support, she needs caring. But this is what is lacking when you go to our hospital. You see how they treat these people. You cannot even believe it. Sometimes it go up to an extent that they will tell you that when you were doing it, it was sweet. These are words that the person doesn't need that at that stage. What she needs is love, caring, and supporting. But sometimes you will read there, they will even tell you that no, this guy, she's not yet to deliver. Maybe in next 2 days she will deliver, and the next minute you will leave him abandoned and she will deliver on her own. I have witnessed that 2 occasions. That shows you that the competent people are not in our institutions that will know that which time this person should deliver. Because I've witnessed that in Brikama, and I was in Banjul too. They told somebody that you will deliver in next 5 hours or 6 hours. Immediately they turn back and leave him on the bed. She delivered on her own. So, and somebody has to call them and say that this guy is delivering. So it shows you that, we don't have the equipment to test to know when this person is going to deliver and other things. It's all geared towards, the personalities that are taking care of our people in the hospital is poor. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the equipments to do so many tests. So the government has to take the responsibility. And my brother mentioned a very key important point here. We have so many government institutions like that, you know, budgets have been allocated for them, but we can join these institutions together. Like you can say that, look at the environment and climate change, you know, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy. You could have just joined these things together and you have one and you save the money, and that money could be put into the health budget, because the health budget, we must, at least, we must have 75% of our budget should go into the health sector, because, you know, a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. Without a healthy nation, we are failed. So we must have a healthy nation first, then we will have a wealthy nation. But if you don't have a healthy nation, you will not have a wealthy nation, and people cannot develop, and it will delay the development of this country. So we have to look at the sector. How many budget is been approved by the Minister of Health? You look at it compared to the office of the president, you can see the difference. So for me, you know, it has to deal with governments, you know, to be fully responsible, to know that this is an area that, you know, is the cream of the nation. This is where it protects the citizens. This is where we should invest more than any other sector, because, you know, without health, you know, we are nowhere. You know, we don't have even a nation. So at the first place, so, and you look at, you know, the facilities that are available in the hospital, you know, it's poor. Just last week on Saturday, I was at the hospital. You know, somebody has an eye problem, and we went to this hospital, you know, for the person needs a drug. But, you know, so funnily, and they charge us for $800 that, you know, the drug will cost $800. Well, we went to the drugstore to pay the money, and accidentally the Minister of Health was present. He just came in. And when they saw me and I was giving the money, they said, no, we are not selling drugs here. Drugs are available here for free. Nobody sells drugs. I said, you must be kidding. And the lady just turned and said, bro, Bulia Hasuma Ligebi. You know, he said, go, I will bring you the drug. So that shows you that even in the hospital, the drugs are there for free, but these people will be at the hospital selling the drugs. And a lady was there, charged $900. She could not pay the drugs. And he told her, I'm going home. Maybe if I have the money, I will send my daughter to come and buy the drugs. When actually that drugs should be given free. But you'll see that people in the institution are selling those drugs, and it's not going to the national coffers, but it's going, it all has to gear to the institutional change of the people who are mounting those institutions. And, you know, it happens, me, this year alone, I donated 2 times, you know, every 6 months you donate blood. And I go to the art video, I just did blood. You know, and I'm O group, I can give it to anybody. But you go to the hospital just 2 weeks back, I went there, they said somebody needs 5 bags of blood. And they bring 4 or 5 people, because me, I cannot give until next 6 months again. So I went with 2 or 3 people there. But all those people, you know, after their test, they said they cannot give blood. The other one was sick within 2 weeks and he can't give blood. He has to recover. The other one has a low blood. There's no blood. Then that woman has to wait until you have somebody who will give him the blood. If that blood is not there, then the deceased is gonna die. Sitting on the line bed, you know, waiting for her to just to be announced dead, because there's no blood in a hospital. When, you know, we could have provided, you know, you go there, oxygen, everything is not available in our hospital. So where is the money that is allocated for the ministry? Nobody tell us where the money goes. So we have to look into this matter seriously, and it has to come from the government to take the bold step to show that this is the area that will protect this country. Without this, we are boom. So for me, that's my position.
Right, very important, very important. Wow. So it looks like everybody is speaking the same language. We have to really focus on this more than anything. Even beside the pregnant women being, you know, suffering while they're pregnant, and also when they're delivering, but actually our health, our health itself, because we have accidents sometimes, serious accidents that need blood, and then people have not, there's not enough blood. Like I said, about close to 2 million people in the Gambia. I mean, people need to be sensitized about donating blood. As long as you are healthy, you can donate blood. And donating blood doesn't mean that your blood will be reduced without, you know, like to a skeleton, to the point that you will die or you will be, you know, depleted out of blood. The doctors will test you and see if your blood actually is free of diseases, and also if you are qualified to be a donor. All this need to be re-educated in our community so that our people can know. Definitely, we need to have, you know, the storage of blood ready for any of these emergencies, because that's what saves life. You know, blood donation is a very, very serious, serious thing that we need to focus on. Like I said, like Chuck said and others, it's important to allocate enough funding. You know, if the government is not focusing on this, without healthy body, we cannot have healthy nation, and that is the fact. So I think this need to be sensitized across the board. and then they need to take a bold step to really, help our sector. So can we have like few minutes to translate this to our viewers who are not fluent in English? Alice, if you can take like 2 minutes, and
yeah, I'll try to summarize it.
Mr. Nfamara in Maninka, and of course Kexx and Habib can just do another
in
2
fuller
minutes.
also.
2 minutes
Maybe
on
Kexx can
other
speak
languages.
fuller. Yeah, I mean, I'll try my best.
Just summarize what we have. Just some of the key points that we discussed right now.
Yeah.
No.
And
Okay.
Should I go on?
Alex.
Yeah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum, Swamoke Gambiani. So the discussion is about a very very yaram. Susu Lofitani Banjo. Gambia. Ne very yaram bira desnadal. Depending on the Jerusalem domi, the day, Mahale Gambe. So the discourse yep more for government they try to say nakala muna defare borbo da ci walu halisa walu doctor dali ñi mëna am wérgu yaram da nit ki dafa daw yaram nit ki feebar nekk ci lopitaan bi ñuy wax ne deret rek la ñàkk te ko ñàkk bakina so li ñoo ñaan government bi daal ñu gëna xool boor boobu gën fa dugal xaalis daal dan yeneen affaire yi ñoo dugal xaalis te bakken moo gën a important everything te soo amul wér gu yaram amuloo dara so loolu mooy discussion bi nag ba pare waaw bari ngay wax ne daal tam garab yi dañ dee seeral nit ñi da ngaa dem lopitaan ñu la laaj xaalis te ñun xam nañ Gambie nit moom so te garab yooyu sax ñaareel nit ñi waruñ koo jaay sax nit te dañ ko war a am te duñ ko jënda waaw loolu nag mu ngay wane ne nag foofu tam corruption am ci nit te mënul leen a contrôle waaw so loolu nag government bi daf ci war a taxaw bu baax dimbale nit ñi nga xam ne amuñ wér gu yaram suñ demee ci lopitaan ñu faj leen fekkee am docteur yu baax ñu jàngal leen éduquer leen tax ñu gën a mën a def seen liggéey daal ok ma joxe kon Mr. Sawaneh.
Yeah. Okay. Jërëjëf Alas. Boobu dafa on point. So léegi Nfamara mun nga ñëw. Nfamara, you can come in Mandinka.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Sawaneh. Baraka bake. Anka bi kacha kumayata bake le bao jata kendea ya fanya me ko ni banku mi alon ko banku dingole jata kendea so dron o banku fanka malti wala banku lo mi alon ko jikko se tarala ko bao jata kendea yo to nyalon Gambia ngalon nako problème be Gambia mandan Gambia damato barabe danding atata banku jamato Africa banku kan na jata kendea be nasirin ko mabakele so wo kamala akatina be ko min kacha kan be wala musol la jata kendeyate surtout musol min yalon ko ala harje futata tembo mi yalon ko nyanta nala niyo sambala nan wala nyanta ka wulu ka denano sambana banku dunia kono yo wo kono ka bata kol so batal mi yalon ko tumando nengam bulol kafunyo kam man sakunda ko kala koto nse kututo no jele bawo muso konomata abe ay konota wato mina dron asulata jata kende alla kaji ko as jata kende astono nyame an wotita nun na lopitano koma yo ni nata jube bi nka koleya kul min moy bake wolo nyinde ko yellow mankitale muso ita fa wulu wato si yaji ko ala yellow mankitale yo itata lopitano to yellow mansoto so ntella jero to dal masakunda nyanta fere be kele aje ko ye banku dingolu ne encourage ye na loptanol to e ka yellow d so na national blood bank wala mo na yele bankoti ye yellow millande pro mol nyante muna fangala ne mol sulatala fo operational lombang fo musomi wuluta lombang yellow manyana ka manki loptano do so nyanta kala minde wala mansa kunda nyanta mol encourage lale kana ka yellow d wato wati hana tara na soldier lomo anin na police nyato na police kundalto ba wolu bi ni tara soldier kundato bi isa mo wuli tang anin fentaraje itara police kundato bi isa mo wuli tang anin fentaraje yo ni tara o institution civil bi isla yelola ye daniro ke oto ba woli yela e fansul le plano so ba e military hospital lo so le military health clinical so le woli ke la mol tester le wato wati mi alon ko jato be kende are yelo manyana mankila banko kan nyanto civil encourage dale yo ni na de loptano blado do fana jorangol man sodo no ana tara ye docteur kendo sodo je bar jorangol mankita so kati na fana docteur fana do ko ka kole bulu yo docteur fana comme checks ya fala di am ko nyame na no sol fana do bije ila fahamro adasata demanding londo la karola ila do ko la karo so wo fana mbel kulete mi yalon ko nyanta wo kol be jubelale yo masakunda fana tembo to nyalo ngana ko masakunda man kodo soto pour ka hajol be jarano barna jata kende abunda wonyanta kila kulete mi yalon ko wonyanta kila priority lati ana tara ko itella kodo doyata e kam masakunda ka budget to min dila sanwo sang adoyata nyanta jubela masakunda doku dinkira dolto no wala budgetol kuntu nga jube mbowe health center la fala no nyame yo nga example o dinko office of the president baw nga jele state house nga kibarol min soto ko masakunda state house la dépense ko karwo kare domoro da mala karo la wota da fo million fula karwo kare yo ni ajube san ko no 1 million million mo ani nani lati yo kono ni ajube ni se do kopoti no je wose mako no de health center ibajo ko blood se woldol fenkeno nin sulata jorangol dolan so keno hani ka mol train fan so woldol fon keno le so wolbe ferel de mi alon kon sa landino e ko ni la dépense o man sia bake e ka jubele dami yalon ko e manke high priority yedo kuntu to yana ya sambadulado dami yalon ko al sulata priority la je barka musu kono mal je fa e niyo katu wuludula o mu kulate mi yalon ko manyana sonna woka ke banko kan yo komi Habibou ya fala di amoko no nyamen na masakunda dokulalo ito la musol biga wulu Gambia momo la muso kono mata do ni wulu wato jina sidron e ka sambatu babu dule wala bankol min ya lonko ila jata kendal beteyare so ibaje ko telman tel la koleal long bikon tel la banyin mbare musol ka wulu na l'hôpital to so kulata mi ya lonko nyento ko jubela baba kele isaje ko na jata kende sonia yo dobi je fana loptano do to kata banjul loptano to kajel ambulance drive minika sasa telefon samba ka bodna loptano to kata loptano balto wol dol fon man jata kende ibika respond no comme ndimmo ay air locked for example wala maybe moy heart attack soto wala maybe kala ala vital soul jibe while on transportation coming off nyame ntebe volunteer kanjanne in our emergency and medical services I'm a volunteer okay ntelma commence follow ka ning ambulance kata mol pick but yen train le how to respond to CPR ambulance kono fana jorangol be dawda yen trainul be la chaw air maxul be tara daming the air oxygen tankul be tara daming ambulance kono yewol be tandinale an ambulance kono e ka presento la vital sol be jubele jena be ftara loptano to niftara loptano drong ya fo no se ko ala high blood pressure be nyimi ala blood pressure nyi nangam le ala oxygen level nyimi nangam le wo sifal be inando informal be total in hand jeni ftara loptano sa no se mi fona be o take over la asalonko ye presento min pick ka bring abe transportation auto nyina mala blood pressure de nyina mala oxygen level de so be lonje jena aftara loptano to naftara loptano do wol fona de take care parin kajela ba ambulance driver ka mul fon pick ke sambal loptano to pare wo ambulance driver fon anika oxygen tank so nyinka lo moye wala ka jio lo moye imano so wobe mkulete mi alonko nse niyo tankano during the transportation for jeni beftara loptano so wolon kulti mi alonko nyanta wol jubela bake ngana system o betende yeah.
Very good, very good. Abarka bake Mr. Drammeh. Ilo kumol seniata bake.
Abarka.
Nka translation okay nga main discourse angale kangoto puru mbade ngolu isamoy ni nangin kangol bedo nga fosuru kangoto le sai manika kango Habib nisi mako ino fula kangola. o fanan ya o fanan de betala
ajarama amin Mr. Sawaneh
jarama
ande yote
jarama
amin ko wonne yotere ko fi amin cellal surtout ma non cellal nga rebe si woni amin e firtade ko lobitan comme se be hewti kono ko wona e wullede ko foni ni ko woni yahay kono be nama ƴiƴan ala kono ko watta be ƴiƴan ala ko woni himbe ko duwa wadde be duwa yaade amin sondo wo sondo be walla lobitano be okkitira ƴiƴan ko mare ton haray si dabbo ari firtagol ma haray ko accident wodi haray ƴiƴan haray hino wodi ton kono rebben kadi ko woni yotere woni si ɓeguma e ha reedi a duwa wakkirade ko jonnamo ñama kon ɓeedanamo ndara ko ñama ko anda ɗum ɗon jonnemo ƴiƴan haray ennata o heefi firtagol haray ƴiƴan no mankirimo hagani kadi ɓe wonɓe kon laamu en duwa wakkilade piiw gotum daroɗen ha ɗum ɗon daro woni ɓay kamɓe si ɓeygol maɓɓe ɗin hewti koɓe firto ɓe yalta e saare nden woɓɓe ɓe yaha leyɗe ma ɓe yaha peyɗi anda ɓe ƴiɗi anda kamɓe honno hôpital hino moƴƴi kamɓe kono ɓeygol maɓɓe toujours yahata firta ko enen ɓe annduɗa dole men nden ɗuuɗa ma ɗuma ko enen wonne goltide lobitaji ɗi ɗo kono si woni en tariki ha en tawi kamɓe wonɓe hooreɓe ko laamu kamɓe fof kala mo annduɗa ɓeyguma ko sifalama firtade ko ɗo wone yaade ma kanko si o nawni ko ɗo o wone ñawdorade on tuma ɓe darata ɓe ndaara honno ɓe emminirta amin standard amin lobita noon ha haare ko yimɓe ɓen ko ɗon faala tigi on kono fade ɗum ɗon waɗani ha ganiɗa andi ɗum ɗon sattana en kono kadi amin ɓe golloɓe ko lobitan kadi koɓe duwa wadde woni ɓe duwa ɓeydude jande maɓɓe ɗen ɓe darta jande maɓɓe nde moƴƴa ɓayno ɓe toppitorto yimɓe ɓen amin comme ko Kexx woli kon haray wonda e respect ɓay neɗɗo ara fi jibingol yiɗaynamo an ko watata modi ma hino weeli kono joni musinde ko an ma an a firtoto e nder balɗe ɗiɗi ma e leere jeego firtotoɗa haray ɗum fof wona koko amin koko hani ɓena goɗɗo a firtoto e nder leere joyi on ɗon firto e nder minute aji haray on ɗon o firtike ma ɓen a firtoto e nder balɗe ɗiɗi on ɗon firto en ngal ñallal ɗon ɗum ɗon fof ko anda yimɓe ɓen duwa yeƴƴitade yiya ɓeɗo tigi tigi on ɓe duwa ɓeydude kamɓe gandal maɓɓe ngal jande nden ko ma ɓe ɓeydande ɓeydugol ngol on tun on ɗum ɗon ko laamu ngu duwa darade ɓeyda fi mum ɓayɗo andi affaire docteur yagal wona comme ko jangga no janggirta high school tun a yeeyi ɗo ko amina SRN watta ɗo kadi eɗen andi honno woniri still no wayni wonno janggirɗa high school kono wonɗa janggirde ha joni so fayda ɗum gandalngal ɓeɗo a weɓata kono si woni laamu ngu wallitoɗo ɓe naɓaɓe ko yaasi ɓe jangga ɓeyda gandal maɓɓe ɓe arta ɗon ɓurta e nafude saare nden dal kono ko ɓuri ɗum andade fof ko woni koyen keto hiɗen wakkilo yehen ko lobitande okkitira ƴiƴan koɓe maraton fi en cas si goɗɗo woni o heeɓi accident ma debbo hewti ko firto ƴiƴan no makko no jipporimo ara kamɓe fof ɓe ɓeydante ƴiƴan ma haray ko opération watte ara ɓe no fof ko ɓeɗe ƴiƴan kono si woni noon en jooɗike en jaɓɓani yaade jonnagol ɓe ƴiƴan en tawa haray toujours silamu kadi immaki fi ƴiƴan en tawa haray ƴiƴan ala toon okkugol goɗɗo ƴiƴan noon wona sa okkimo ƴiƴan an a heɓotata ƴiƴan o woye ko yaya ɓe ndaara an siɗa wonde e cellal ma ngal e honto ƴiƴam maɗan tolni ɓe anda an hiɗa wawi okkitirde sa okkitiri noon e nder lebbi jeego kala hiɗa wawi yaade ruttade amin okkitira ƴiƴam ɓay ɗan ƴiƴan okkitira no wayno ko amin a walla woni fi amin sawgol amin sowgol wonking an haray ko ɗum wonirɗa ɗum so joni ko enneten amin laamu ngu tigi tigi ko kettoteɗen kamɓe koyeɓe wonɗo haray ñawdagol maɓɓe yoɓe ñawdorɗo ɓay si woni ɓe ñawdorike ko nder saare ɗo tun ayiye kamɓe kadi e ɓeygol maɓɓe ɓe ñawdoro tun ayiye kamɓe kadi ɓe daroto honno ɓe imminira amin standard lobita ɗon haray enen fof e nafittore kono fade no waɗani noon haray andu ko sonjawo won ton ɓeygure men nden noon koyen keto ko jonnaten ɓe ñama ko yo wonna ko wonde e cellal ɓay sen daari hari ɓawo innetake goɗɗo yaaɓe ɓeɗanamo ƴiƴan ndama ɓe ɓeɗanamo ƴiƴan tu kono haray woɓe himɓe firto ko nder galle te ɓe perata ƴiƴan ɓe wuura ɓiɗɗo bobo kadi fanan bobo kadi o wuura kono nini a yiya ɓeynama goɗɗo o firtoto woni ɓe yaha ko lobitan fi firtawo ɓeynama ƴiƴan ala wonde o wonki makki heddo ɗon wonki bobon heddo ɗon ara ko angal ƴiƴan waɗɗum koyen ndaaro kadi no ñamete mo ñamete e honno ñamirte ɓay wona sodugol tun inna an a soodi goɗɗum ko bitiki a yari ma ko supermarket a soodi a yari wona ɗum noon en ndaara tigi tigi ko ñameten kom ɓe masiya a reedi ko ñamata ko duwa moƴon jonde o ñama ko anda hino wonde e cellal no moƴƴani mo haare kanko moƴƴani kadi bobon ɗon aya so firtawol ɗon haare o sonjata ko moƴƴa awa jarama Mr. Sawaneh.
Okay, thank you. Jarama. All right, that is well. I believe that this topic we definitely have giving ourselves, opportunity to express it in English and also in local languages, at least the participants here. So we're gonna quickly move on to the next topic. We are almost like close to an hour on in the meeting. So I will introduce the next topic and we will just jump in there. Okay. We will try to make it as brief as possible so that we can give our viewers much, details uh, to help us, some of the burning issues in the country. Again, the second on the topic is corruption and control. How to control it. As you know, corruption is something that um, it cannot be eradicated anywhere in the world. The West, they have the way to do it. They call it lobbyists. Lobbyists are the folks who comes and support your political cause if you are contesting for an election, and they will give you money to fund it, and after they will ask favors in turn, probably contract favors and so forth. That's another form of corruption. But in the West, they call it lobbies, which is totally legal in the West. But back home, it's not considered as legal because it's a corruption. You are giving something under the table to me while you will fund my campaign, and after under the table I give you a contract that somebody else could be qualified for. So this is a very important issue, especially third world country. As we know, third world country, our problem is in development is because the resources that we have, it doesn't go to the right people and right places. And because of that, because of corruption, we tend to enrich ourselves. If you look at a salary of an average Gambian, they don't live off their salary. The salary cannot earn them what they have. You question yourself, what's happening? How did they manage to build this house, this expensive house? It's corruption. It's operations that are illegal, and then they're getting funding and they are stealing money. So in order for our nation to go further, we have to really cut on corruptions. I'm not saying that to totally eliminate it, that might not be possible, because but if you put some deterrence, like a punishable offense, anti-corruption board, and so forth, people can know that there's a repercussion on if they're found guilty of stealing money or trying to do illegal deals in the bank, but because of their positions, they would really find themselves in a very crucial situation. Recently, the president of Sierra Leone invited by the president of the Gambia in their discussion, he suggested to President Barrow, if you guys can have, if Gambia can have anti-corruption to kind of to punish people who often commit that offense of corruption. And the president will, I had it, nobody told me about this. Myself, I had it. The president says we are not there yet. I mean, we cannot be compared with Sierra Leone because they have a long history of fighting this, and we are just a new government. But I was not really pleased with that answer because I think the reason why we have New Gambia is to come up and fight everything right in day one. You don't have to be like, we don't have to wait to get there. And then the president also make a declaration that there will be an asset declaration for all the ministers and some of the people at higher places. That never take place. I mean, according to what I know, what I understand, I haven't had anybody who came at least publicly to declare their asset. And those things are very important. Those are also to show that people taking offices, we know exactly what they have, so that way we know how long they've been in that position and what they earn during the tenure of their occupying that position. And at the end of the day, we will be able to say, we will be able to match their earning and before they come to office and then after they leave the office. So we will verify whether what they have matches what they earn. There should be a proof of any further source of wealth. So these are all accountability and transparency. And then this asset declaration was very important, but nobody actually followed it up. So I'm gonna leave up for my panelists to jump on this topic quickly. Like I said, we would like to for the benefit of time, we like to put brief. I mean, make everything to the point, and also try to say some of these things in our local languages for those who are not fluent in English. Okay, so we're gonna make it brief. So I'm gonna go ahead, Alas, to come in quickly, and then Habib, and then we have Nfamara, Drammeh, and Kexx also. But I think those people probably they're coming in later. Yeah.
We'll come back. Anyway, very important issue, Mr. Sawaneh, and I think you invite also the right person, because people call me Mr. Anti-Corruption because they have the feeling that I'm the only person talking about it. Yeah, I mean, I've been fighting that, saying that every time I wrote something to sensitize the people. Sometimes I'm even frustrated because it seems that sometimes I'm the only person taking that serious. But for Gambia, it's a normal thing, so it's not something important, That's how I later used to see it, even, because it cannot be that we know our problems and we know the cause of it, and nobody is even ready to talk about it. Just because of party politics or having a relative where they definitely know that this man is stealing, so they would not like to take part. You understand? And some, I don't know, it's crazy. As you said, it's all over the world, but in the Gambia, that small place, if you see some people, what you said, we all know what people are receiving for their salary. And sometimes they show you bills from a salary of 2,000 euro a month. So these are things, they are deliberate corruption in the Gambia. But in the Gambia, it's something that we try to normalize things, to take as it's normal. Nobody talk about it. Even if you are corrupt, you're stealing the government's coffers, people will say the good man. You understand? He's a good man because he used to give me money, without knowing that this man is giving them their own money. That's also a lack of education, because the money they are taking from this man, corrupted person, who is it, is their own money. So they should not even say thank you, But people should first understand what they have in the Gambia as citizens, what are their rights, and things like that. But these are things many people don't know that. You can be a thief. You go to the market distributing thousands to the people. First thing they'll say, oh, Mr. Sawaneh is the best person I ever knew. Forgetting that this Mr. Sawaneh is stealing their own money. The situation they are is caused by this person. That's why they are poor. I think we have to inform the Gambian people first about these things, and why are our hospitals, because we just got this topic, why are our hospitals not even having the cheapest medicine? Why is the health care very, very down there? One of the worst in West Africa. And you see a person working there, building villas going, so there must be something wrong. You understand what I mean? So, again, I later said, let me just keep quiet, because it seemed to me as I was the only person making noise about it. We have politicians, we have a lot of people, but it's just like people are just avoiding this war. Nobody wants to talk about it because it seems to be a normal thing in Gambia, and we cannot afford it. I said that before. Also, the time Barrow went, and I was promised to get 3 billion. My first things I used to say is Barrow should be very careful. First, the anti-corruption board before anything. If not, he can forget all his plans. Because I have reasons I say that. If you don't take this anti-corruption board seriously, you can forget it. You can do hard work and everything. It's just like you going to hold water with a basket. You understand? When other countries concentrate on anti-corruption board, they know why. It's the best tool you can focus on to make sure that you close all loopholes. Then you will have something to move forward with your development. If not, with our traditional corruption in Gambia. Forget it. Any president who comes, believe me, get my words. If he doesn't start with that, he loses. Yeah, and this is also, I think, what we have to sensitize people with. They should try to understand why are some people richer than them and they are doing the same work. Because when they are fair and trying to behave as a Muslim and don't try to steal, others are doing the opposite. So it will be different. Yeah? So I just say Barrow should try and make sure that he get this bill. I think he gets it even on his table to sign it and make sure that he uses it as his best tool. If not, forget it. All the donations, the pledges we are having, he cannot control all. He said that when he took the country, we were only having money for 1 month. So he's now proud, we can praise him. He's talking about 4 months. Had it been that right away, as you said, Mr. Sawaneh, this tool was implemented, then we'll not only have 4 months to live, but we'll have 10 or 20 months to live, because all loopholes are right away closed. So either people are ashamed to react on anti-corruption board, or are afraid of it, or it's for their own benefit because they are stealing themselves. So nobody is trying to react on this topic. I'm very sorry, but we have to do something. It's not something to waste time with. Whenever, I mean, which government comes, if he doesn't implement this, he can forget it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So Alice, this is a very important point about the anti-corruption board. What you've been mentioning it, you're right. Since the get-go, you are one of the people that have started. You know,
call me now even anti-corruption board, because I mean, for me, I know Africa, you know, and
it's important. It's very important, and
tool. If you want to grow your or impose your projects in a country like Africa.
Very good. So let's get Habib to come in, and then Nfamara can come in. Nfamara, are you there?
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
okay, Habib, you can come in. Habib, come in. Then Nfamara can come in.
Okay. Once again, thank you very much. For this country, I will tell you this: Gambia is not difficult to control. Gambia is very, very, very easy to control when it comes to corruption. Where should we start? We should start from the top, because the top officials are the corrupt ones. Those below, they are just, you cannot call them corrupt. You just call them, those who involved in third-party business. You needed something, okay, like you needed a passport, okay, the fee is 1,150. That okay, give me 300 so that you can get it like in three days time. Those are the kind of stuff the genuine immigrations involved. Those in the licensing department, those in ID cards is what they do. Okay, the ID card, this is the price for the ID card. Okay, give me extra 200 so that you will not be on the queue. Those are the kind of things they do. What we need to focus most about this corruption issue is when it comes to this, when they organize their workshops, right? Because it's the way they are wasting state resources most. They will organize workshops. After the workshop is done, nothing discussed in that workshop will be implemented. You will not see it. The moment they are done at the workshop, is done. It's over. It's like they are stealing the money legally. And like example, when you comes to the lands, like for example, you see a single piece of land being sold to 3 different people, and there is no land that will be allocated to you without the approval of the Ministry of Lands. So if at all we start to punish those in the ministry, then obviously nobody will sell a piece of land to 3 different people, because the moment you buy the land, the approval of that document will reach to the ministry for the final stamp. Then how can that same piece of land be sold to another person, be given another title deed different from the person who last bought the land? How possible? Is it that they are not keeping records, or is it they are giving kickback from the field, and then those 2 who bought that are the people going to the court to see who is the owner of the land. These are the kind of issues that we're having. And whilst, those to be taken to court are those in the Ministry of Land. They are the people to be taken to court when it comes to those kind of, land issue. Two people, when they have a problem in a land, I bought this land from this guy, and this guy saying, I bought the same land from this guy, then obviously those in the ministry, they are the people to be taken to court, and from there to the prison, and obviously no piece of land will be sold to, to 2 or 3 different individuals. These are the kind of issues that we are facing. We need to start, punishing corruption from the top. Because one, the budget, given to the presidential office is not a necessary budget. You cannot give a budget to the presidential office more than, that of, agriculture. You give, a budget to the presidential office more than, that of health. So what are you trying to say? So it's like, they just need to fly out and fly in with the, with the state's money, but not, spending the money where it is, necessary. And most of these institutions, you can just make the payments through the bank. You only meet, you come to the institution with a receipt. So obviously, those people, they cannot take money from you. They cannot take money from you. You can see, they will tell you, okay, 2,500. If you pull and push with them, and then you go to the office, they said, no, your shop, you need to pay, 1,500. So where was that $1,000 going? And that guy will give you a receipt of $2,500 if at all you paid the money on the spot. So how comes a department like that using 2 different types of receipts? Those on the field having a receipt book with the letterhead of GRA. At the same time, when you go to GRA too, they give you a different receipt, a different payment with the same letterhead. How possible is it? So then you need to start punishing them from the top, but not those below. If at all you want to, we are serious about tackling about corruption. Because even this anti-corruption bill that we're talking about, even if we put it in, as far as it's the same kind of attitude that we are dealing with. Obviously, we will never tackle up the major issues in our corruption. Because when it comes like we will pointing out those below. Okay, you're taking 300 from this guy, you're taking from 200 from this guy. It's just like at the third party. You are trying to arrest the third party and trying to punish them, or those on the field, you're trying to punish them. But actually, those in the office, the directors and stuffs, they are the people to be held responsible when it comes to this kind of corruption. Those from the finance department, the budget they are creating, they need to look into it properly. Because if I told the president can use a private jet to fly out from the country, is just because he want to overdraft the budget allocated to him before the end of the year. Because if not, if at all he's flying normal with using normal flights like business class or economic class or so, obviously he cannot exhaust the budget. But he will try all necessary means to exhaust the the budget for the so that in the following year, then they will try to see how best they can increase it. And that's not the the way we're supposed to operate. If at all a budget is allocated, yes, still we should work and see whereas we can have a surplus of that budget, and that surplus will benefit the nation. But any budget allocated, they will try by all means to make sure that budget is being exhausted. So they will come with all corrupt practice, like workshops might be legal, you might see it as something legal, but normally it's not something that is totally legal. Because okay, they will give you number of people that attended the workshop, how much are they paid in the day, and all those kind of stuff. But if you check the actual figure and those who attended the workshop also, you will find out there are 10 people who are ghosts. They were not even there. They were not even aware that their name was on the list. But when it comes to payment, those people will be paid. Payment, you see a signature of this guy was paid, like Mr. Sawaneh was paid. Why Mr. Sawaneh didn't even know, like, there was a workshop going on, but his name will appear on the list. These are all kind of stuff that they are bringing in to exhaust any budget allocated instead of trying to work hard, for surplus. Some people, you will give them contracts. What they will first do, from the budget that they give you, the budget that they give you, and then you allocated them the money. From that same money, they will pick certain amount of money and give it to you back, like a kickback. And you will take that money wholeheartedly and thanking that guy. So what do you expect? I mean, the duration, the money that you paid for, the duration or the quality of the contract that you are paying for, you know, I mean, exactly, you will have that quality because already the money to be spent on that is already given back to you. So the quality will not be there. That's why I see this, I mean, kind of porous that we're having, this poor structures we're having. You give them money to go and buy, I mean, something for the state. They will not buy a brand new. They will take the price of a brand new when going out. But when coming back, they will come with a second hand or a So these are the kind of stuff that we are facing. And this world is too modern now. For people to be buying that, way, the world is too modern. So we cannot, I mean, live like we're in the 20th century, in the 19th century, in the 18th century. No, we are in the 20th century. So we need to operate as a standard, standard government. But I mean, we cannot, actually attain what we need as far as we are using, wolves to take care of the sheep. It won't work because these people, they are totally greed is their problem. They just came, to enrich themselves, and that's it. They are greedy, and that's not, what we expect from a leader. What we're expecting from a leader is like, to enrich your nation, even though you are not rich in return. But the moment the nation is rich, then obviously you are rich. This is the problem that we have with Drammeh. Within 22 years, he can make billions of dollars for himself. And the nation is owing how many billions of dollars? About 1.3 or 1.4 billion US dollars is what we are owing. And Drammeh could make, $1 billion for him just using that, state position. So it shows you, automatically, he is not here for the people. He was here for himself. And the acting president as at now, that's Adam about the acting president as at now, he's, using the same, footsteps. Because those who were, trying to use Drammeh for their own self-interest is the same way that they are trying to use him to manipulate him. Because if at all you see, the structures that he's trying to erect as at now, it's not something that he's getting, from his salary. Why should the state, feed him with his family? Whilst, we are paying him salary. The state shouldn't feed him. He should feed himself from his own salary. When the state have visitors, then the state will feed the visitors. But, feeding the president himself is corruption. Why should we are paying him? Yeah. So these are the things that we need to, we need to consider. We need to consider them seriously. The issue of, a first lady, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Because you have the vice president as the minister of, women affairs. Then obviously, the first lady just have to be a housewife or operate in private, institutions. But, representing the state directly is totally wrong because the wife is not elected. The one who is elected is the president. But, like all over the world, the politicians are using it to enrich only themselves. Is what they are using, because you're paying them, paying the wife over there, the wife, getting chance over there, involved in certain kind of deals. They're all corrupt. It's all, forms of corruption. So if at all you want to fight, corruption itself, it's a radical change that we need. We should start it from the top. It is either you are operating, to the way, the states expect as president to operate, or the House of Assembly and the judiciary, they take a step and impeach the president. And then we move. Because it's a nation. It's not like a family enterprise or a private company. No. That's not the way, actually a head of state should operate. But you can see, government cars at 12 a.m., 2 a.m. on the streets, whilst they are using coupons from the offices and wasting the fuel at night when they're closing work at 4:30. So what is that, car doing on the streets at night? Yeah. It shouldn't be. But these are all things that we need to, consider. The mileage of every car needs to be considered. The coupons given out, it needs to be considered. Because every department, most of their people, they take the coupons from the office, meant for their cars, or at times they don't even have a car. They will go to the petrol station, change the coupon into money, and put the money in their pocket. These are all things that I am saying. It's not like, I had it somewhere or so. No. I am seeing on the ground. You can even, go, to take a car, to be tested, whether it is roadworthy or so, You don't even need to take the car. Just go and explain to them, I have a car, this is the type of car, and stuff like that. Then they will straight away tell you, okay, this the amount that you pay, but because you don't come with the car, you are paying this money. Then you pay that money, and then you collect the license index, and then you go. What are those kind of stuffs? All those people, they need to be in jail. They don't deserve to be in offices. They are to be jailed because, I mean, they don't know, I mean, the safety of the car, whether it is valid, I mean, to be on the streets or not. So we are seeing, I mean, serious kind of accidents due to what? Brake failures, I mean, poor tires and stuff like that. You are seeing, I mean, drivers on the street driving without rear mirrors on their cars. They are driving and one of their lights is not working. They are driving on the street, their brake lights are not working. So we expect, I mean, we will go daily without accidents. It won't work. You will see accidents daily, every day you will see them because the car in front of you is not, I mean, the brake lights are not working. And then you behind that guy, what do you expect? You will not know whether he's braking or not. So you just knock on him. So these are the kind of, I mean, stuff that we are facing. But what we need is a radical change. As far as Gambians, I mean, we are dealing with, I mean, Yala Bahna issue. We will continue to suffer as a nation. Because if at all everything is Yala Bahna, then God will not create hell. But God created hell and created heaven. So obviously, we have to, I mean, when we're implementing the laws, we have to take the Yala Bahna out. And then we operate as a nation. To me, this is what I have to contribute, I mean, when it comes to the, I mean, corruption. Thank you very much, Mr. Son.
Yes, very good insight, Mr. Barry. You mentioned a host of points here that, you know, you can put together really, and then, you know, like we educate our people. Let's have Nfamara Drammeh take on this, and then we can summarize it quickly.
Okay. Let me just take it there.
Mr. Nfamara.
I'll be back to you.
Hello? Nfamara, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us now? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you what is your take on this corruption thing, and then how to control it?
The volume is going down a little bit though. I can hear you fully.
My volume is down. Nfamara, what is your take on the corruption issue?
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Corruption is something, you know, that is our biggest enemy right now in Gambia. And I think, like you said in the introduction, I don't think we can eliminate it 100%. But if we can reduce it, then it will be good for our economy. A lot of funds are being lost through corruption. Habibou have mentioned a lot of old areas in the government system where money is going out that we are not being accounted for. You know, so the more we get it controlled, the better for us. The system is not ready yet to reduce it to the level that we want it to be reduced. The system is not there because, like Habib said, and we also hear Kexx, you know, mentioned a good example in our health sector. You know, something that is free, but somebody is saying you need to pay something for it, and they're even ready to give you a receipt. You know, so where are they getting those receipt books? So we must have a system whereby, you know, the chances of our employees or the civil servants interacting with money is very low. In that case, then we'll be able to reduce. But so long as they handle cash and then they can go away with home with it and then come back and nobody will supervise them, there is no proper system to make sure that, you know, the level of handling money is reduced, then the chances of corruption is very high. And this is what is eating, you know, our economy very, very fast. And we must all do something, you know, to make sure it reduced. Of course, much of it is about, you know, the moral aspect, because obviously we all know that 90% of Gambia, we are Muslims, and then you are not supposed to take something that does not belong to you, you know. So you need to make sure that, you know, you control that part very much. Because if you fear God and you know that, you know, whatever you take, you are going to be accounted in the future. You know, if you have that God fear in mind when you are serving your institution, when you're serving government, then it will become the chances of you, you know, taking money that doesn't belong to you, you know, is very low. You know, obviously. So that's the situation we find ourselves in, and this is at the top level, even at the government level, high level, because sometimes governments are given budget. Each institution is given budget. A big mention about it. Some institution wants to exhaust their budget for the end of the year because they think maybe if they don't exhaust it, the following year the budget is going to be reduced because they have not finished what they are. If you look at the year, come to October, November, December, from this time coming to the end of year, you will see more withdrawals, more projects, or more expenditure being forwarded for approval in the government system, like any part of the year. This last quarter is always the busiest year of the government expenditures. You go to central banks, you see a lot of checks flying. You see a lot of checks flying because everybody wants to exhaust their work plan. Whatever activities is left their work plan that is not done, this is the time of the year that they want to push it all through so that they get the budget exhausted. And then we just have to be honest to ourselves. That's very key. Honesty is very, very key. And to fight corruption is about fighting dishonesty. And then to fight dishonesty is about our attitude, it's about fearing God. If you fear God, then your chances of being corrupt to your nation, being loyal to your nation is very, very high. Because if you're honest, you don't want to get involved in those dubious activities. So first of all, I must say that we have to get our systems that in place that is going to reduce corruption. If those systems are not in place, then obviously corruption will be something that is going to be very difficult for us to reduce or control to the level that we all wanted. So in this case, we just have to be vigilant. We just have to supervise. Our financial sectors have to make sure things are done in a proper way. Because we are seeing even in government contracts the way they were handled. Even though we have the GPPA rules that say you must obtain maybe 3 invoice vouchers, you must have to invite 1 or more contractors before you can award a contract. But in some cases we have seen those have been violated. And then the auditor generals are informed sometimes of those situations, but they don't know until to the very end when the national audit have to force some institutions to come. We have seen in the National Assembly where they have to force some institutions to give their annual report. And then you can tell you that we're in 2019, some institutions have not even submitted their 2017 annual report yet. So all of those is because something went wrong in their accounting system, the way they audit projects, the way they award projects or contracts in their various ministries and institutions. So this is the very problem that we have. We are just spending government money, extravagantly, without considering the fact that we are struggling as a nation. Some institutions like we're discussing today, our health sector, it's not going, and then all of these areas are where we can get money from, to put money into our health sector, So we have to make sure that, there is proper audit and accountability in some institutions to minimize corruption. Big institutions like the Ports Authority, where a lot of ferries, bring in a lot of revenue, Gambia Revenue Authority, other key institutions that are bringing in money for people. But you see, a lot of corruption everywhere. You go to the, people are living extravagantly, with a very, very low salary. So you wonder where they get it from, We all hear the vice president, the former vice president, on her New York trip, how much money that was transferred for her for a 1 week or 2 weeks trip to New York, and she did not exhaust, to lay her hands on the money left. So all of those are something that we should be able, a government institution should be able to investigate thoroughly and make sure we know where it goes. Such money, should not be given too much, for an individual to travel, from a government. All of those have to be control mechanisms, because we all know, in the UN system, if you travel from coming to attend a conference in New York, United Nations have their rate for New York. They cannot go more than that, So you are from a developing country, you come into New York. Your rate per night should not more than $430 according to the US rate. So if somebody is coming for a week, you multiply that, because your UN rate includes your accommodation, includes your food, it includes your travel. So all of those have to be, properly accounted for before individual leave, not just out of estimation, like how much you think you're going to need, and they give you that bulk of money, at your disposal, that you use it the way you want it. So long as you retire the vouchers or retire the receipts, then you're okay. It shouldn't be like that. So those systems are kind of missing. And this is why we see a high level of corruption going on in the government system. Some people will travel. You have their travel per diems, all paid for by the organizers of the meeting. But still, they'll go back to Banjo and then still apply for the per diem that they missed, or they will probably falsify receipts and then submit it for reimbursement. Because they know that their line ministry have budget for those kind of expenses. So they're not being honest. They can get whatever they get from outside, but yet still they go back and still claim. So it's because the system is not properly, it's not good to monitor and audit effectively. And it's all down to honesty, definitely. Because if you steal from a government, you know from the bottom of your heart that I steal something that does not belong to me. Because you cannot feed your family on money that doesn't belong to you. You cannot build a house, drive a car that doesn't belongs to you. So all of those have to be there. We must have a proper checks and balance and audit system in place to fight this corruption in our countries.
Right. Nfamara, that was a very, very good insight. So it looks like it's a lot of government regulation that need to be taken care of. At the same time, upon ourselves as citizens, is a lot that we have to do from our end. Is that a correct statement?
Yes, indeed. I work for, I used to work for a government here, like I can say a county or state. So in that, that was the the State Forest Park. That's the Department of Natural Resources. Right. No staff goes with a vehicle home. We all drive with our vehicle to work. When we get there, we get the department vehicle, and then do any activity we have to do. And then, like Habibou was saying, you have to write down your odometer of when you come in the morning. You pick any truck that you are using for a day. You have to do the paperwork. You come into that car, write down the odometer of that car. If there is any fuel left, then you can add up the fuel, but you have to go to the tank yourself to fill up the fuel. But even those with that, you have to put how much liters you put in, and the odometer of the car, the time you are picking up the car, what odometer it was. Then we can know at the end of the day, somebody can audit, like how many miles a day did you use that car for? How much fuel was used? That can be audited, because you cannot, like we see in Gambia sometimes, people will take, a car full tank, but come next day, the fuel is all gone, and nobody knows how the fuel has been used, because nobody is taking records of the mileage that somebody used that car for and where he's gone or done. Maybe the person just, filled the car and then took maybe 5 or 10 liters out, and then sold it out. Nobody knows, but there's no proper system, So we are even spending, like Habib said, we are spending too much on, petrol money or gas in government vehicles in the Gambia. That is absolutely, and you come to maintenance of the vehicle too, how much we are spending. All of those areas, we can cut it down very seriously. Those are the areas that we can seriously cut down, and then divert that money to somewhere else. This per diem business too is something that we can also control. Because there used to be this Scott clearance. Whenever you're traveling out of the country, you have to apply for a Scott clearance at the office of the president. In that clearance, you have to, if an institution like UN invite you for a meeting, and maybe you are a minister coming to attend the meeting, the invitation letter, you know, because usually when they send you invitation letter, they tell you that we'll be responsible for your accommodation, travel, you know, and then logistics is all mentioned in your invitation letter to attend. So wherever that is possible, and that is submitted to for clearance, then that person, no way, travels have nothing to do with government. So even if he come back, he cannot apply for any, you know, travels or per diem reimbursement or anything, because it's already cleared out. So in situations where the government has to, you know, fund those travels, then we have to see how much we can fund, whether it is something that we can do or not. We can say, okay, we'll pay for your airfare, maybe your accommodation, but we cannot, you know, provide you maybe your travel allowances, like moving around when you move, something like that. We have to put a system in place that can control all of this situation. Wow. So unless we do that, you know, government is going to encounter having problems, budgetary problems, you know, in our various institutions and ministries. So I think it's so anti-corruption commission is something that we have to really, you know, fast track and get it in place.
But question, Mr. Nfamara, the anti-corruption, which is going to be one step to the problem, and then the fact that Habib mentioned that if you don't, you can have all those corruption laws, but if proper protocol are not put in place, like driver's license, people are going to apply without appearing for the interview or even the driver's test, and that people are getting stuff without, you know, filling the right documentation, and even those are causing this kind of accident that we had last, the example of the accident that happened last week. People are getting, we're not saying that that's what happened in that case, but there are a lot of situations where, you know, the Gambian authority will give papers that people are not qualified for, and this would never even go and you know, physically take, you know, like the tests, and they're getting all those, you know, government documents, and then they are given, you know, vehicles to drive, or they are given certain things to do. So all those are contributing to our national problems, and then they are also corruption, because people are paying money instead of going through the right protocol. So you can have anti-corruption board in one place having to punish anyone, you know, caught, but how can we, you know, minor things like that grows up to be major things? How can we, you know, scrutinize that? How can we make sure that all these pockets are closed, so that way our citizens, you know, we will be in control and do the right practices? We need to follow the queue. I mean, you cannot come and be in front of the queue just because you have money, or you are related to a minister, or you'll be given diplomatic passport just because you are related to the justice minister. You follow what I mean? Or you are related to the president. So it's a lot of forms of corruption, not only physical money, but doing favor for favor, doing preferential treatment, having people to be awarded things that they are not qualified for. All these are part of corruptions, because they are illegal way of having things done. So the corruption board is one solution. What on the citizens part, or on kind of, you know, these offices these offices that allocate this kind of papers, how can we control that so that those practices are not taking place? Because all these are part of, you know, corruption. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean.
Yeah.
I understand exactly.
Mr. Sawaneh, I understand what you mean. In fact, the anti-corruption board is just going to be like the TRRC or something like that. But I think Habib understands it. That is just, they are just going to be like anti-crime, or, you know, or other policemen on the street treating the small people that and the upper people not. No, because this commission is going to be responsible even for the top people who are more concerned. because that is going to be their work. And all what we listed down here is also going to be their work, to look onto that, all what we discussed now, to be solved. That is such a commission. I mean, that's their responsibility. Doesn't mean that they are going to follow you because of 200 or so. They can also follow a minister because of millions. So that is such a board.
So,
I mean,
in other words, this is gonna be like an enforcer. It's kind of like a task force. That would be out there like a police department. That would be out there operating, going to agencies, going to
they have a
different.
special responsibility. That's why people are wondering why is Gambia still not imposing that, because I think Gambians don't understand how such a board works. This is our problem, because we never had it. I don't think he knows that. He didn't know the benefits, because that was going to help him very much, very well in imposing his projects and so, and to have more budget for the country. But if you don't know what something is used for, before we used to take gold in Africa and just throw it away. You understand? And the white people came, they knew the quality of gold. So anti-corruption board is just, for me, like when there is gold in Gambia and we don't know the use of it, or we don't want to know the use of it, or we don't want to implement it because it's going to affect us or our parents or our friends or our party colleagues or something like that. Because many people don't even know that there is corruption in Gambia, because everybody sees it as daily life. It's a daily life. So we have to change the culture, we have to change the laws, we have to impose laws. You know, I know the person up will have, you know, everybody will say it's a bad man because you're reforming something. What people are used to, what people are leaving. It's not a good thing, but nobody knows it.
Just to get our viewers on the same page, this discussion that we are taking place right now, the corruptions, how to reduce it. We cannot totally eliminate it. A lot of host of things has been mentioned. Even doing beside, you know, embezzlement, beside, you know, taking contracts and like keeping money. You know, the government, you know, like getting some money from somewhere, they're not disclosing it. All those are part of corruption. When it comes to the citizen part, also, we don't like to follow the line. We like shortcut. We like to pay somebody to get somebody done, something done for us. Especially some people who have some. They don't want to go through. Let's say if you want a driver's license, you don't want to go through the queue. You can pay somebody $500,000 and you get your driver's license. So those are all part of corruptions. We the citizens also encourage corruptions because we don't want to follow the queue. If you come to the West, you have to follow the queue. If you are a millionaire or you are a regular folk, you come to the motor vehicle where you apply for your driver's license. They don't care if you are Donald Trump or anybody. You have to apply the same way as others, and you get your license. So, but in Gambia, we are not seeing this. You know, you go and you know, dokwala in a motor vehicle or in the ID card place, ikayko nakeba makoi ID card to nga $1,000 is dira. Ibaje labe mobile kaito bulala je ala you know, mobile kaito aba pulla on the side. $1,000 is nying abe wala norma. So abe munakela abe la kaito mudala atamini mobile kaito la. So pour nyin kamala as $1,000 is nyin soro. Hani de fo ina tala pour ka driver's test ke ka eye test ke asa fo kana worry. Si su kono. Ku just ko nyin dina rek mba dundi le nga fintindi ye. So ninyi system mo falen Gambia, I mean, it's gonna affect la bakele. That's why some people they have you can driving a man driving no, because you know man right proper documentation all sort. So wala na some kanyang problem also because munem kodol be bulo inate yenyin officers all ye duku ye kaito dila mena ko amanke right paper solti. They didn't go through the right protocol. So but in the West it's different. Hanata quality ole mudi mu million neati. Ni nata pour driver's license apply. Hanata tele mu Donald Trump ti. Ibita la ye form feel yellow line auto ye to kumandi yela license no dila. Ita fulo ko Donald Trump filenti jang o millionaire kari felenti jang alinga silo be bulaye nga la kaitos diala o nga la driver's license ta nga samba so kono abe tipla nyina la so quand même from body wala tron wala ñu let them understand that corruption no masakunda la responsibility be jele and also ntol citizen fana responsibility be jele ntol fana ka advantage a system wala le masakunda fana nada isita ya jeko corruption no be benefit la nyame pour ko ko dundi la pocket o kono wala tina America ko Gambia masakunda they are not physically transparent ya announce because munemu i ka korol men di masakunda la ibuka dundi right project holto ite wulla la ye Gambia accuse wala so namol nanta lon nale ko mol ben jiben kanne e ben banko jiben kan e ben lila so jiben kan nimman operate anyama eben balla some of the project le ilafta ninga duku ninga duku ke menla because ito sonne la kuruka dundula to waltara ibuka abuka account no
not to say
yeah so corruption is intul bela responsibility la pour ka kele na banko kan ngata nin silola nin tada fen apply ngalo lay no kan nkana jibe korom membul ko mantala membul men fanam be dok wala je ye wasa ni la doku ni alon ko ila doku jo amanta ila balwo sila nga wosi masa kunda nga jibe wala balwo is ila josi la fano nyamin pour asila balwo cover bara kanata ika korom ta modu bulu ika bule da jifo kono pour nyin kamala isi chance di wala yeta ita wala kayto bondi wata modul be lori be batundur wala so nyina mo corruption wala fen ko den lafta la pour ka translate donc in mandinka pour nyin kamala modul fana sa understand
ma dimbele suma mbokk wala fitam anyway liñ doon discuss mooy about corruption nag mooy comme ngay am xaalis daal loo xam ne du yoon te loolu nag dafa gëten Gambia trop ak suñu économie ba pare suñu waxtaan bi yëpp mooy yan façon la am te am na façon yu bari am na yoo xam ne nga dem comme ni ko Mr Sawaneh waxee nga bëgg a am passeport nit ñi yëpp a ngi toog di xaar passeport nit jël jox la $1 nga jël passeport bi jox ko comme que moom jox na la xaalis te yu demee noonu leen tam yëpp ci corruption la bokk ba nga nekk place di liggéey di sàcca li te yaa ngi bëgg a dundin boo xam ne sa salari joxu la ko waaw su boobaa nga door nag di jël loo xam ne waru la loolu la ñoo ooyee corruption fa mel ni sàcca daal sàcca boo xam ne kenn jàppaagu la dinañ leen jàppi nag di te li ma dégg mooy dina am commission buy ñëw yaa ngi ci kawam ñooñu nga xam ne dañoo mel ni ay police daal pour yu demee noonu daal nga xam ne nit ñi nañ moytu boor boobu waaw corruption nag moom lu bon la baaxut ci dëkk soo gisee ñenn ñi am ñenn ñi amul nit ki di liggéey benn place ak kenn moom li am ëpp na lu ëpp li moromam yi am te moom mu nga sàcca moromam yaa ngi gëm yàlla nekk sëriñ bañ a def lu su ko defee nit ñi ci biti duñ xam nag da ngaa dégg yow kii moom li moo liggéey yëpp mu ko def gisal kii liñ defa soo nit ñi seen boppa ñoom corruption sax dañ ko jàppee ne lu normal te loolu is not normal criminal loolu ku ko def fu nga jàppee da nga war a dem kaso waaw ñun nag suñ dëkk bi foofu nag dañ ko def loo xam ne sax c'est normal thing ba pare ki gën a mën a sàcc sax kooku moo gën a gën ci nit ñi so that means ñun Gambian xamuñ sax kan moo corrupt ak kan moo corrupt am na ñoo xam ne am nañ seen xaalis dañ ko ñaxal dëgg la waaye am na ñoo xam ne amuñ ko dañ ko sàcc so ñun gisaguñ benn tey différence boobu daal te ñun suñ génnewut corruption bi dañoo yaxal suñ boobu économie bi soo gisee ñeneen ñi ñàkk ba nga xam ne amuñ dara li tax mooy am na ñoo xam ne dañ sàcc ba nga xam ne ñu ngaa nekk di jënd ay kër so loolu nag dangaa gis ne ñooñu suñ ñëwatee sax jël dankal leen xaalis dangaa dégg diw moo baax gisuloo mu ngi ma jox $2 fekk xamuñ ne $2 boobu sax seen bos seen bopp di te ñàkk xam na di te kooku mu ngi na sàcca moom li moo sàcca seen xaalis mu indi laat leen ko may leen ko ñu ne diwa baax may na ma liggéey so nit ñi dañ war a xam naka la government day wooke ak lan mooy corruption ak naka lañ ko aaye waaw ñu bari na dañ dee dugal nit ñi ci corruption bu te xam nañ ne Gambie dafa ñàkk dañoo ñëw bu nga def dara pour yow nga noppi ñu jël xaalis jox la nga noppi su boobaa yow it corrupt nga waaw soo li ñoo wax corruption nag moom warutoon a sérieux nii ci dëkki Gambie nit te ñun dëkki sëriñ lañ wax te ñun ñëpp am nañ lu nekk ci Quran waaw kon àndul nag ñu wax naan ñun Gambie 90% sëriñ lañ ba pare 70% bi sàccakat so that means 70% bi xanaa xamuñ ne lan la nekk ci Quran bi loolu tam war nañ koo laaj suñu bopp waaw nit te ku gëm yàlla nekk sëriñ waruloo sàcca waruloo fen su fekkee ni sëriñ la waaw waaye dañ war di moytu di daw ci jumaa yi di ko feesal te ñun li ñoo wax ci ñun nekkul ci ñun waaw so loolu ma jox ko Mr. Sawaneh balaa moo gudda
yeah all right jërëjëf kon dañu am Habib
arama Mr. Sawaneh
yeah jërëjëf
joni ko mi woni yottude hannde nini on ko affaire corruption si innama corruption non ko woni ko ñaamugol ko anda a duwaka ñaamude wona ko an jeyi yaltina feere ha heltoɗaɗi ma ƴettugol mbuuɗi e juuɗe himɓe ma comparaɗo passeport a dani price passeport on ko jelu innama ɓeydanan nanngam passeport ma on yawa yaltude haranga wonani ko layen ko ɗum sifaɗi piji mi woni yottude e ma ɗum lansine wawɗi noon e honno laamu woni e ñaamurde mbuuɗi haray waloraki noon ko honno joni saare nden fof duwa darorade ha tawde on corruption ko ittete ɗum e men ittetake few noon kono hino wawi ɗuytede ko ɗum waɗi ɓe nafi affaire anti corruption o fi darne kono si woni darnama ko nafitode saare nde ɓay so tawi hiɗen soñji ha joni wona goɗɗum soñji en ne ko corruption soñji en a duwama yoɓude fi passeport wona 1,150 duwaɗa yoɓude fi passeport ma 3,000 duwaɗa yoɓude fi passeport joni an a immaki fi passeport on law ha heɓa haaju fi passeport immoɗa yaha fi passeport ɓenema joni sa falametire passeport ene balɗe ɗiɗi a yoɓay guluji nayyi joni no wayni an a perdani hoorema wulure ko ɗum waɗa yoɓide guluji tati joni an a yoɓi guluji nayyi a perdini
Signal problem. I think he's having problem with connection. Habib?
Yeah, Habib, are you there?
Yeah, but the signal. I think I got it the last time. So it's just going and coming.
Okay, so I think
well, you can call
because of the time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just try to wrap it up, Alice.
That's it.
Alice, because our budgeted time is between an hour to 2 hours. So we already
discussed all the topics today.
Yes, so today we have to postpone the topic that we posted. We apologize for that. It's because what we are trying to do here, again, there's no perfection in this. What we are trying to do is to cover as many topics as possible. We still have the food assistance program from Japan. We can discuss that our next comment. Are you there, Habib?
I think
we can also discuss the 3 years extension. I think that those ones will still be current. Our next one, and good governance. So I think we can let Habib finish, and then we can wrap up this because it's coming to 2 hours. We don't want to take too much of your time.
Okay, go on. Yeah, okay. Jarama Mr. Sawaneh. Go on. Affaire corruption on ko ɗum woni yewtude. Ko ɗum waɗa yoɓude wona guluji tati ma ko ɗum waɗa yoɓude wona temere jeetati ɓe namma joni sa falama ma yoɓa guluji nayyi mais yawa hettude hara on ta ko line ma aduwa yoɓude wulude temere joyi an haɗa joni ɓe temere jeɗɗi an aduwaka wonde ko line ɗin ɗon piji fof ko ɗum waɗen dogude ɓay so wona e hindike lensinti a andi a rewani ko rewete ina andi go'o ko wonki maki wonɗa e fijirde maɗa fijirde a wonki himɓe ɓen ko hoore lawol ɓay accident kala ko waɗi tawa haray ɓe ndaari ɓe tawi an lansima a hoccumo ɗandi an tigui ko wonki si woni a daɗi andu haray perdini wonki woɓɓe si waɗi fof ko ɗum waɗi calculé ɗe moƴƴa afala mala sindal ya wala test ma normal si wona pe yo ba normal wona joka lano hendo la lensi ma siko passport kadi amin yaltu law duwa ko de passport ma jogi to ay ta asmi mi ka fi ya du simi passport no ma ina okay mi andi kari mi duwa ko de amin diplomatic passport bay mi kari men jedi ma min e president ko men sip e ma be boy anandiri duwa la jonde amin diplomatic passport sabudo no fo corruption no no fo ko tardingol amin sare nen maya amin galle goto himbe dido himbe tato hino soda amin galle goto amin so yaha ko ministry kambe do wawde dum stam kono ay joni kambe so yare kor kambe yaltata bay ay habe na ma okay joni encore deto mo jogitara kaydi man mari oda ko det mako ko hande tuba nyalande do soda ko nyalande do sodi non foko amin ko jibondira ko wata no corruption wata no kono joni aussi andi corruption amin bilo amin darnama o yadi non piji fo en wawadi amin dadude ina take corruption yaltinte fes kono ko e men duwa fodorade ko duwa da be capande joyi alaka hawjinta ma haywa amin temedere in anga duwa hendade law fi yalta ko line anga fala ko wadde line si afala ko wadde line dum ko ya mo law ita dum nange e habiji made o we wonta habbo ha tarda en accu mi andi kari simi joni mo nangam o jonnala nangam ma sa ndari kadi amin lamu kala budget mo be jonni be kambe be faata inde budget on ko ma wada exhaust ko ma budget on nyami halan e calculta okay joni en golli ha o time do e wakili kede be jonni en temet tati kono en golli temedere capande joyi joni natten temedere capande joyi o we be keto ha be tawa mbudi ko be wadano amin jonnano ko fo e budget on e keto ha be tawa dépense on fo be nyami dum non fo amin ko woni anda en duwa itade tawen tigi tigi kala no warete dum asiki ko an ida imade an hore ma ko da sonjide be mabbe are be yeso e tanira be mabbe bay amin no sare ne natire nyamande wo kono amin ene be men e tanira be men kono be woni sonjurade be den nyamande ko kambe yoboytade kono ida wawi dogude ne nyamande kono dogude ne nyamande ko woni so jonnama budget en golliri ha en tawi tigi tigi aha ko dum do woni budget ko do amin budi men din hatti dépense ko do hatti ko heddi ko en keto di non budi di natta di jodo ko trésorier si di ko trésorier jona ay namane men wona duitade si boy ko budi men gollirte si wonne godde budi men non hara en hettike tampere kon ci wonno enen kala budi ko nyawlid en nyamadi lanna calculer johono be nyamande de bi nadde be men e sonja bo be anda fi mum e tanira e mabbe so corruption ko enen duwa darade tawen en piri corruption e yaltindo e hakku e ndor men den on tuma en hettoto kon hettare men non wona enen duwa amin fuddorade en duwa darade be men e tanira e men ben do men nafitora enen ko yandar tawen ko bonuno ko enen e ittinno joni be nafitore be no ari yeso be nafitora ko non duwa wonnire kono ona o enen ko yen nafito arobe yeso be accire men sonja be men hono be kambe be jangiruita hono be nyawdoroyto dum do foko duwa dum dare hiden fala lawi yajudi kono sen jonna mbudi fi lawi ko en keto kadi ha on dépense amin fi lawi kadi e nyamito goddum dum do foko anda en duwa darde hono pirite fi mum ha yaltinen do e hakkunde men bay lawi ni sidi moƴƴi ko enen moƴƴani kono si woni en nyami dépense amin lawi di moƴƴata si lawi di moƴƴani kadi ko sonja men enen ko dum dum darten corruption a yetti muɗin hande a nyamidi kono jango ko wona sonjoyde si woni ko joddi woni amin yonani a jonnama budget a wakkili ko nyami budget on lani a tañini joddi ɓeydota ko so sen falama joddi ɓe ko len keto every surplus mo budget o yaltini o duwartade back to treasury any surplus mo budget o yaltini o duwartade back to treasury then from there joddi wata amin ɓeydade ara himɓe ɓe yoɓete based amin on the standard of living kono si woni noon en inni enen mbudi ko yalti wo ko nyami ko yalti wo ko nyami joddi ɓeydota ko e no ɓurta yarde no sare ne ɓuri ñamade wo ko non ɓuɗi wona jippotta no muɗi jippori wo ko noon amin dépense sare nden amin wone sérirde no sérir kadi wo kadi noon ko enen kadi woni e soñjade en soñjade ɓe men soñjo tandira men soñjo kono noon duwaɗa en wakkilade joni tawe hono ittirten ɗum e men corruption on dal ko e wakkilo wona laamu ngun tum pirata corruption nde enen e hoore men so ɓe landike e yoɓan nangam mi jonnama enama heeɓe mi jonnama hunde kono noon ɓe duwa wiide ko ɗum wona yoɓude so on faala noon joguiteɗo lebbi tati ɗum ko haaju mum kono min koɓe ande mi hettoye so min ko ɗum wona yoɓande kono noon warten wallirde amin naɓen sare nde yeeso kono kadi noon amin o duwa fuɗɗorade ko presidence office duwa fuɗɗorade corruption ko noon duwane fuɗɗude pirata corruption en watama yoɓde ko yoɓatema ko fof hitande nden tawa kadi ko enen jonta mo dépense kanko ɓe makko konen ko ñamata ɗum ɗon duwaka kanko duwa dépense de hoore makko dépense ɓe makko nen kono si woni ari sare nden heeɓi hoɓɓe ɓen hoɓɓe ok sare nden duwa darade ɓe dépense ɓen hoɓɓe ha hoɓɓe ɓe yaha kono president ɓe makko nen kanko duwa dépense ɗum ɗon ko sare duwa ka dépense ɗum ɗon ɗum mo en duwa darade tawa tigi tigi some period corruption ko don duwa fu dorade then from there in the why are they so Mr. Sawaneh jarama mi joni tima lano.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, jarama. Okay, so we're wrapping up our today's talk. So we are almost on 2 hours on the show. We have extensively covered the health issue, especially with the delivery of our women in the hospital and the donation of bloods and all other improvement that the government and the government can do to help health facility better, which is the key. Healthy populace is healthy country. Now
Yeah, that's very cool.
that's very true.
Right.
And we also have the opportunity to discuss one of the key problems in our nation or across the world, but more especially in the third world countries and Africa, which is the corruption. And we have come to a conclusion about areas that we need to improve on to help facilitate and help us control it. It cannot be eradicated 100%, as you know. This is very serious issue. We've been built on it since the beginning, and unless and until we find a way trying to do away with it slowly, we will not progress as a nation, because we've seen people owing things that they don't worth owing that. But how do they go about getting those things is because corruption. And we have seen that, people taking advantage of the system, using money to influence certain things because they want to get it fast. They want to get it, without having to go through the line. All these are problems, and also people are not entitled to certain things. Like an example is driver's license or ID. They tend to not go through the real practice, and then they end up giving money just to get acquire those things. And we are seeing people giving favors like diplomatic passport to their family members who are not entitled to that. These are all part of corruption. So I think as a civic education forum, we are trying to enlighten ourselves here. We're not only gonna blame the government about the mishap in our communities or in our countries, but we also have to take responsibility. If we don't sensitize our people about what we need to do to help us, our health system get better by involving in our people who are sick, trying to give them the right diet, especially pregnant women, as Abib said, try to make sure that we give them the right nutrition and be there for them to support them, and our government also for putting a focus on health, making sure that the blood, people are sensitized to donate blood. Donating blood is good. It helps save another person's life. So these are very important points that we need to sensitize our community. It's not like giving blood. If you lose blood, you're gonna die. No, they look at you and see if you are a candidate fit for that, and also they look at your health situation, that you don't have any disease. So because the blood transfusion, you can cause diseases if the person donating the blood has that person has diseases in the blood. So they screen all these things to make sure it's suitable for the patient. So all those technologies should be in place, and also we make sure that there are shortages. Make sure we don't have shortages of blood. Blood have been stored, at a temperature, room temperature, whereby they can be used anytime. Our hospital should be given a lot of care, maximum funding allocated to this. You have to cut on the defense. Gambia don't need the military. I said it before. All these military expenses, we don't need it. All we need is a strong policing, and we are all one community policing. We are all one people. Gambia is not gonna fight any war and win it. You can even forget about that. So get that money that's going to the defense and military might, we take it and use it in our clinics, in our hospital. We need more hospital beds. We need more equipments, scanning equipments, operating equipments. Okay, we need so many things, that you can't even imagine. So if we don't take care of our health, we will never grow as a nation. And then also coming to the corruption part, if we don't cut on the corruption, we don't cut on the loopholes. We don't have an anti-corruption board that will go and establish, like an enforcement team to go into the community, make sure that all these agencies are following the protocol of going through the line. Not everybody, not anybody's, nobody's taking money, or nobody's taking money just to give, a service to someone who is not qualified to receive that service. We need to make sure that, we have testers. You send, people to go and test these agencies, pretend like they're gonna give them money, and then when those people take the money, then you bring them to the justice. You bring them to the anti-corruption board. Let them deal with them. So if people know that they have been tested, they will not take money. They will say, "Oh, I don't know, this person who is trying to bribe me might be part of the anti-corruption task force." So all these are logistics that are out there, but the government must be ready to implement them. But right now, what the borough government is doing is they tend to enjoy all the bad laws that are here, that the Ajami put here, okay, in the constitution and elsewhere, just to also have a right of getting money and building their account in their pocket, before their time is over. So that's what they're playing on. Otherwise, he would not have to tell the Sierra Leonean president that we are not there yet to establish the anti-corruption board. I mean, these are serious things that we need to consider. So I thank the panelists for putting this effort. We lost 2 people on the way, Kexx, Sanneh and Mr. Nfamara Drammeh. They probably, had to go, but that's why we're trying to make sure that our meetings are, on point, direct to the point, and make sure they are as short as possible. At least within a window from 1 hour to 2 hours is good enough to discuss extensively a topic like this, which are the key topic in our today's life. So I thank you all. If you have any final words to our viewers, we come here every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, twice a month, to sensitize our people in this civic education forum New Gambia platform. You can check us online. We are on Facebook. You can just search us there, and we are also on WhatsApp. But our WhatsApp is full right now, so I don't think you will have any accommodation for any. But you can also be on the Facebook page. Okay, all right. So any last word, guys, before we go?
Mr. Sawaneh, it was a nice discussion, and they are very 2 important things, I think, at the moment for Gambia. Discuss about the health and especially corruption. I mean, corruption, we can talk today till tomorrow morning. What's all going wrong in Gambia?
That's your area, right? You like
not
corruption.
my area, but I mean, it's a long topic. There are a lot of things to discuss about corruption, because there are a lot of things that we take normal in Gambia. As you said, we grow on it. That's why many people don't even know that now the difference. Because there are very many things which people take as a normal thing. Because since you were a child, you were seeing it going that way. You understand? So that means it's going to be a big reformation, to reform that point and make new policies. And it is also not going to be very easy, because some will say he's a bad man. It happened to Sankara, Thomas Sankara. The time he took over and then tried to handle like that, But one time they could see something. So, but the corrupt people try to kill him, because it's not their advantage. You understand? So it's not easy in Africa sometimes. And a reform is always a hard thing, because people have to change the way they know it in another way. That's reform. And the reform is never easy, even for Europeans. Because the human being is, when he is used to something, you want to change it, is a problem. They need time to understand it and then live with it again. So that is going to be easy for the next generation. So, I mean, it was very okay, and I could learn also from you people, your ideas also, and your stand. It's okay, just the time. Today I have to offer myself.
Thank you
my
so much.
desk is
Thank
full
you,
now, but
Alas.
I can make it later. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming. Habib, your final words?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Sawaneh, for organize this kind of talk show where we can reach, certain kind of, people. Most likely would have make sure, like, if at all, everybody that listen to this will try to, discuss it with others. I think, I mean, it will be, I mean, better for us. If at all, I mean, we get the information without, I mean, spreading it, then obviously to like, I mean, following for like 2 hours without spreading the, I mean, information, I mean, wouldn't benefit that much, but at least, I mean, it's something that we need to, I mean, discuss, I mean, within ourselves and with our everyday life. Saying like, I mean, in anything that we do, country comes first, because if at all, I mean, we didn't control those in authority by controlling ourselves, then obviously, I mean, we are the people, I mean, corrupting those in authority. But the way, I mean, we are to control those in authority is by controlling ourselves. If they try to, I mean, drag us in certain situations that favors them, but are not, I mean, in line with the law, these are things that we should, I mean, challenge, I mean, directly. Always, I mean, when we are dealing with them, when they say this, we have to tell them, look, okay, this is what I mean, the people are saying, or this is what I'm supposed to do. That is what I'm trying to do here. So, I mean, though, I mean, some of them will try to punish you. Okay, if at all you need to, I mean, wait for a week, I mean, to receive what you paid for, they will try to hold you for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, you go and come, they tell you, no, it's not yet ready and stuff like that. All these things, I mean, there are challenges that we need to face until we eradicate it together. Like, I mean, not just the authorities, like, I mean, because they can create the laws, but implementation is another problem. Because, I mean, the one to implement it should start, I mean, from the top. But if at all he himself is guilty of the act, then obviously, I mean, the implementations, I mean, will be very hard.
Afraid of it. I know that many people will not favor it. Because they used to say a thief and a police can never be friends, no? You know that proverb. So there are certain laws. It's better to avoid it in the Gambia, I think, for many people. Than to say, okay, I'm going to implement it tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. So
you know why I'm talking.
This is the reason why, I mean, first, I mean, we need to check exactly what we want as a nation. But normally people don't elect, I mean, elect a right leader when they know exactly he is here coming, I mean, to close, I mean, those loopholes that we are using to gain access to extract cash flow or certain privileges. I mean, to encourage the masses to, I mean, to vote for you. Because whatever I try to tell the people is like, this guy is a mad guy. And these are things that we need to, I mean, consider when electing, I mean, those to lead. Because as a leader, you should come by example. But if at all the leader is corrupt, then obviously everybody within the system will be corrupt. Is what we are facing right now. And but
it's a difficult thing to fight in Africa in general, but we have to take steps.
So thank you very much for the, I mean, for the time and the kind attention. Thank you very much.
All right,
appreciate
it. Guys. So this is great. We gotta come back again. Our next scheduled one is the first week of November. So stay tuned, our viewers, and then we will come back with more other topics. Again, visit our Facebook page. We have other topics that we need to discuss, especially the extension of 5 years. But we'll probably get more information by then to discuss on that. But these two topics that we discussed today, the health issue, especially regarding to the delivery of our women, that was very important and very needed for our government to look into it, and then for folks to get in, to look into that, and as well as corruption issue. So I thank you all, and then we look forward to the next November platform, Civic Education. So
take care.
Thank you, Alas, and thank you, Habib. Take care.